What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the MPCW franchise? Here we go, here we go, here we go.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us in South America in the vibrant and colorful Brazilian beachside city of Rio de Janeiro. It's the second of our two games. Super Wildcard weekend continues here on EA Sports. So they'll go ahead and accept the penalty. Straight ahead with Gibbs here. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the game's first play. Second down. Another run for Gibbs here. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That's now consecutive 5-yard carries to pick up the first down.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
From the 50, here's Herbert. Open man right side is St. Brown. The 20. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Gibbs straight ahead. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Hand off now to Gibbs. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
So a nice run there, and I have to think a strong running game in the playoffs, maybe even more critical than the regular season. And if you go by the numbers, the man they have running it here, he was the best in the NFL.
And since he led the league in rushing yards,
and this time he is
Let's
in.
go.
Jahmyr Gibbs, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Black Knights will strike first here in this wild card matchup. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no run
Hit the ref. Bonus
so
points.
this will come out to the 30. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw is Daniels. This will be caught by Brown. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels, jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a 1st down.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
Jack Campbell running him down behind the line.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. That's into a crowd and intercepted. It's Brian Branch with it.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, CD, we have seen it many times throughout the course of the season. This defense coming up large and snagging a big takeaway. But here they get not just the takeaway, 6 points as well.
And you just knew that for this team to advance, it had to get a big performance from this unit. And to this point,
maybe not.
They delivered.
Extra point safely through. And it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They trail early on the road in the playoffs. Not a great combination as they've got it 1st and 10.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
And I think we're all starting to wonder with this early deficit, what will that do to their play calling? Do they feel like they have to be more aggressive? Because they're throwing to start the drive here, but it winds up incomplete.
Over the middle, complete. It's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50.
The rookie from LSU leading this offense well. A good throw there leads to a 1st down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
Yeah, this is only going to be a gain of 2. He needed 3. It's 4th and 1.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On 4th down, here's Daniels.
And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete.
The Commanders went for it, but they cannot pick up the first.
And as a result, possession switches hands.
And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. I also like what the runner's giving us, Tim. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off. He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football.
In motion left here, one of their tight ends. Here's Herbert. Flushed out right. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That one goes for 8 yards.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the first down marker, and his early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left.
On 1st and 10, here's Gibbs.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession, as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. St. Brown in motion right. Now a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll instead run up the middle. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 4.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. He's got his target. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. From the shotgun, here's Herbert.
Over the middle and taken in by Laporta.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left.
Now back to the ground. Here's Gibbs.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 4 yards on the play. That's going to lead to 1st and goal.
Gibbs is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Now it's Herbert. Being chased outlet, and he will take this one in for a touchdown. Justin Herbert taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Black Knights continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy. I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what and he lost the football. And the defense will get their hands on it, going the other way. The big fella. And he's going to bring the fumble back for a touchdown. Charles, they are putting on a show right now. I mean, with that fumble return for the touchdown, you think about the size of this advantage. Heck, it's a 4-score game right now, and we're still in the first half.
And that has to be the highlight, Brandon, with how infrequently we see fumbles return to the house. But if you aren't inclined to pick this as the game signature play so far, you do have no shortage of alternatives to select from. This has been nothing short of a clinic. And as noted, we still have a half a ball to play.
The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
Now a 2nd and 10.
And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Oh, everything falling apart now. Another one intercepted. Inside the 20.
And just shutting him off there. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Extra point attempt to come here. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Got a man. It's Brown.
And, oh, he takes a shot at the end of that play.
It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And he'll work this forward for about 3. It's second down.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's second down at 7. Daniels looking to throw.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 15 yards on the play, first down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Carlton Davis picks it. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw, because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
Down the right sideline.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A gain of 37. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on first and 10.
Setting up the screen. This is Gibbs.
And he will take it in for the touchdown.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Black Knights continue to pull away here in this first half.
There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, wherever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here.
Tighten up defense.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we...
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception.
Jack Campbell with a pick.
And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Boy, Charles, you hate to see this for a rookie quarterback. You're hoping it doesn't shake his confidence, but that confidence, it might be shaken because that is 4 interceptions for him now in this ballgame.
It has to be shaken. Wouldn't be human if you weren't. Doesn't matter whether you're a rookie or a veteran. 4 interceptions, you're not sure what you're doing out there. So to me as a coaching staff, I would think very hard about getting him out and trying it again another day.
No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15...
Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. So really the first speed bump that this offense has encountered, they'd had the rule of the roost here in this first half, but now slowed up just a bit by the interception.
And there's a chance that that's a wake-up call for them because you don't want to go on autopilot too early. That team on defense is capable of making some plays similar to the one they made right there.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
And that one's going to be off target and incomplete. I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. A final shot before break. Daniels. And now here's another interception. Jack Campbell with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did and came through with a big-time pick six.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC Wildcard matchup as we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And a good effort on the return there gets him across the... Up to the 33. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
They go play action. Daniels.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Marcus Davenport. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. Daniels from the gun on third down. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Kirby Joseph. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
First carry now for David Montgomery. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Back to Montgomery on second down.
And give him about 4 on the play, but he's marked short, so it'll be 3rd and about the length of the football.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
They'll run it. Here's Montgomery. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. Now it's the backup, Tannehill. That is caught by Laporta. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Out of the gun, they'll give to Gibbs.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in it. At the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Back to the ground, this time Montgomery. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Here's Tannehill. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. David Montgomery from 8 yards out.
And the Black Knights have got it on cruise control. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now we get a stoppage because, as you can see, a member of the Commanders in some obvious discomfort. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnover.
And looking for McLaurin, but this is intercepted.
Jack Campbell with a pick. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this 3rd quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the first down right near the 24. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball but someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short game.
And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. A big-time sack there on 4th down.
And the Commanders come through with a 4th down stand.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
A throw off his back foot there. That's going to wind up incomplete.
Frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
And now here's another interception. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
You're good, you're good.
That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure, but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the
As I
ball
said, that
quickly
was
because
all
he read
CPU.
blitz.
I was on
He
the
saw
offensive
all
line.
those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
From the gun, Gibbs will get it.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
On 3rd down, they go Montgomery. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. One quarter remains in this NFC Wildcard matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair.
On the give, here's Gibbs.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now, I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
4 yards the pickup, 1st down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they are powering through, and they're controlling this game.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. In motion goes the tight end.
And off to Gibbs, headed right here.
And he's going to have another 1st down here as he's able to dive beyond the marker.
69 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
And in a situation like this, you're in the 2nd half with the lead, trying to get to the division round. They're going to let him do his thing on the ground, and that's a great run there to pick up a 1st down.
Let's go.
They'll try the air now with Tannehill. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Charles, they're still airing it out at this point despite that huge lead. And some people may be saying, well, why are they throwing the football? These guys, I guess, are just padding their stats at this point.
Yeah, a lot of big grins, I think, from people in their families, from themselves. You're exactly right. Pad the stats when you get an opportunity. It'll certainly help you come contract time.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
Here's Tannehill. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Picked off by Quan Martin.
They can't tackle him.
What a stand there defensively. They force the 3rd and goal, force them into what they think will be a passing situation, and then they make sure to lock up all the receivers and come away with the interception. Sounds simple, but that was really well done.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Brown. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Let's go now.
Off the play fake, Daniels.
And it's caught. Touchdown. Noah Brown. A 12-yard touchdown grab.
And the Commanders are finally on the board here in the 4th quarter.
Well, look, this is a team, Charles. They faced adversity all year long. They had to fight and claw to win that division, but they're putting it all together here in the wild card game.
Feels like a statement, doesn't it? An absolute statement game, a message to the top seeds. Overlook us at your own peril. We're pretty darn good.
And it's no good. No, he misses the extra point, and our score stays right where it is. Is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Now, this is not going to wind up anywhere near the landing zone, so this will be blown dead, and they'll move it up to the 40.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now a give running right is Montgomery. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
2nd down and 4.
Again, they'll go ground with Montgomery. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just enough push up front. He only needed about 6 inches. He didn't get a whole lot more than that.
No, but he made sure he got enough so they didn't have to worry about measuring it or making it even close. Ends up picking up a couple of yards in a situation, as you noted, where he only needed inches. This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And about yardage gained, they can run that plan any down.
They'll try the middle with Montgomery.
And an excellent job of finding the opening as he's got this now all the way down to the 22.
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Going up the gut, Montgomery.
And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10.
Up the middle, it's Montgomery. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8.
This is 2nd and 8.
And off comes to Montgomery. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7.
Here's 3rd and 7.
A give. This is Montgomery. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Out is Jake Bates to try the field goal.
From the left hash. Should be a fairly easy one here.
Bates' kick is good.
And that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD.
And my goodness, another interception. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone, and his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
And they'll indeed take a knee. And a wild card win moves them on to the divisional round.
Everyone plays all year long for the right to get into the tournament, as they like to call it. Wild card, divisional, doesn't matter to them. One moves on, one goes home.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. A very strong and dominant wildcard game. And now we're on to the divisional round. Meaning we will go on to play the Rio de Janeiro Huskies. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will see you next week.